Most healthy lunches are not helping your blood sugar. They're actually making it much worse. Now, you might think that you're making all the right choices, like grabbing a salad, a wrap, or a smoothie bowl. But many of these lunch options are loaded with hidden sugar, refined carbs, and poor quality fats. So instead of helping your blood sugar, they're secretly causing spikes and crashes that are leaving you drained for the rest of the day. In this video, I will break down why many traditional lunch choices just don't work for people with diabetes and why they often leave you so tired and frustrated. And then we are going to uncover the root cause behind these blood sugar roller coasters and how to fix it with one simple but very powerful approach to building your meals. Then finally, I'm going to share with you 5 very easy and delicious lunch ideas that will in fact help you stabilize your blood sugar and keep your energy steady all day long. If you don't know me, hey, I'm Dr. Anna. I'm a medical doctor. I specialize in helping people with diabetes just like you manage their blood sugar, take control of their health with very practical science-based strategies. Now, let's talk lunch. So lunch is a very critical midday meal for a lot of people. It's either going to set you up for success or it's going to sabotage your energy for the rest of the day. Now, I want you to picture this. You're very busy. You're managing a hectic job, maybe a family life or a personal life in the background. You're trying to balance all of these things while also keeping your diabetes under control. Picture yourself sitting at your desk. It's noon. Your morning has flown by. You barely had time for breakfast, and now you're starving and it's time for lunch. So you rush to a fast casual spot, thinking that you're going to just quickly grab a healthy salad. But without realizing it, it might be drenched in sugary dressing. And this inherently is going to cause your blood sugar to spike. And maybe just 1 or 2 hours later, it'll come crashing back down. That means your energy is going to peak and then drop off, leaving you without the ability to focus and ultimately being hungry again just a couple hours after your meal. Does this sound familiar? Well, if so, you're not alone. This is a very frustrating cycle that so many people find themselves in, and I am here to show you how you can break out of it. So, the problem is that most lunches are either too high in carbohydrates, too low in protein, or they're overloaded with hidden sugars that you might not even realize are inside. Even the seemingly healthy choices, like a smoothie or a vegan sandwich, can unfortunately cause very rapid blood sugar spikes. Then could follow a crash in your sugar and your energy that ultimately leaves you just tired, unfocused, and really irritable. Now, for those of you with diabetes, this is actually a roller coaster that can disrupt the entirety of your day, the entirety of your blood sugar regulation, and ultimately of your health overall. So, what you need to understand is that whatever you eat at lunchtime triggers a very big blood sugar spike and then crash. It doesn't just affect the numbers on your glucose meter. It doesn't just affect your health metrics. It's actually going to ultimately affect your job, your productivity, potentially even the relationships you have in your life. You might feel groggy, moody, unable to be your best at work or with family, and that's why this is such a big deal. So here's what can ultimately happen. If you end up not eating a healthy lunch that has a good energy balance that's going to keep your blood sugar steady and even, you end up becoming so ravenous in the afternoon that you find yourself maybe raiding through your desk drawer at work, raiding through the pantry or the common room, quickly looking for anything that you could get your hands on to quench that painful hunger that you feel. And this might happen all prior to dinner. And then you go home and you're still going to have a whole other meal. So almost always this ends up leading to overeating. And usually we're overeating the things that are less than ideal. We're often not reaching for the healthiest option when we're so hungry we can't even think. Over time, this is a vicious cycle that can start to feel very discouraging for your health overall. You may start to wonder and worry if you even have the ability to maintain stable blood sugar and control your diabetes. There is an unintended consequence here, and this could in fact be weight gain. And I know that many of you are dealing with this challenge because my patients are often telling me all the time that they're worried about their blood sugar and they're really trying to lose weight. These things often go hand in hand. So we need to break down why this happens. It is no question that there may be many reasons that hunger or imbalance in blood sugar can increase for us. Things like stress, distraction, poor sleep, and a poor diet are just some of the many reasons that our hunger and our energy can go haywire. But another way to think about this is that the root cause of this is actually a lack of balance in our meals, especially in our midday meal or our lunch. So when we rely on these fast digesting carbs or meals that have a lot of hidden sugar inside of it, and think about things like white bread, sugary drinks, which includes energy drinks, coffees, even cocktails, or starchy sides in our meals, and then we skip the crucial components of our meal to keep our blood sugar stable and our energy even, we end up setting our metabolism up for absolute disaster. And this might be completely unintentional. Without the right nutrients in place, blood sugar is going to just go all over the place. Your energy is going to follow that. Spikes, crashes. You'll be stuck in a cycle of exhaustion and hunger and lethargy, and we just don't want that to keep happening. So, what is the key? The key is something I like to call the healthy trifecta. We want to base our meal and base our lunch on the essential nutrients that are very important for blood sugar stabilization. These are proteins, healthy fats, and fiber-rich foods. Fiber-rich foods are things like whole form vegetables, fruits, whole grains, beans, lentils, nuts, seeds, any of those components. If you are able to target eating the healthy trifecta in your lunch, you're going to maintain a healthy digestion, healthy blood sugar stabilization, keep your energy steady throughout the day, and ultimately get your cravings under control. And it's not just about cravings under control. Your diabetes and your health will start to get under control. So if you build your lunch around this trifecta, you're often going to dodge that afternoon slump. You're going to eliminate that situation where you're so hungry or even hangry that you're reaching for anything you can get your hands on, which almost always is not a healthy option. Now, I want to make this really easy for you to implement. If you're listening to this thinking, this sounds really great in theory, but I would not know where to start, you're not alone. I hear this from my patients and my viewers online all the time. And that's why I made a free ebook, and I call it the Perfect Meal Formula. The Perfect Meal Formula breaks down step by step how to approach building a meal, whether it's lunch, dinner, or breakfast, or even a snack, that is rooted in these essential nutrients to help you stabilize your blood sugar. It'll help you boost your energy. It'll help you control your diabetes. So you can click the link in the description below for your free copy, download that, and I hope it's going to be a lot easier for you to start implementing this stuff. So in the meantime, let's break down 5 really healthy lunch options that you can start eating right away. The first is a grilled chicken salad with an olive oil and lemon drizzle. So we're going to break down the healthy trifecta components one at a time. The base is going to be our source of fiber. This could be mixed greens, sauteed vegetables, things like spinach, kale, arugula, chopped up veggies on top. What is our protein source? Well, it's going to be grilled chicken breast. This is probably one of the leanest sources of animal protein out there. And it's very healthy for us in terms of boosting up our energy and getting a lot of grams of protein in at a time. Then we have other sources of fiber we can add on top. So this could be crunchy bits like toasted seeds or chopped nuts, or other vegetables, cucumbers, onions diced up, carrots, cherry tomatoes. And then our vinaigrette, which is going to be olive, lemon, and maybe a little bit of vinegar if you like that flavor, and some herbs and spices as our healthy fat component. Now, a pro tip here. The key to building these healthy lunches is to avoid opportunities for adding a lot of extra hidden sugar. Most of the bottled and packaged dressings are going to be full of this stuff, especially the ones that say fat-free. I will tell you, that's actually a red flag. A fat-free dressing for your salad means that the only thing in it is sugar. Because if you're taking out the fat, there's not a lot of protein in these liquid dressings for the most part. You're probably having a dressing that's just full of corn syrup and processed chemicals, and ideally you'd want to avoid this. The much better approach is to have some healthy fat with something like olive oil or avocado oil, and then something acidic or vinegary. Could be a vinegar, could be lemon juice, a squeeze of orange, anything that you like, and some herbs and spices. Okay, what's our second lunch idea? Our second lunch idea is to have a turkey and tahini lettuce wrap. Similar to the white meat chicken breast, you can take turkey breast. Now, if you can get whole form turkey that's maybe shredded up or chopped up, that would be great. If not, try to find a low sodium version of a deli turkey. Something that's going to have a low amount of fat, but it's going to be very high in protein. And instead of using a grain wrap, here we're going to use a lettuce wrap. So it's going to be nice and crunchy and juicy, and it's going to really decrease the amount of carbohydrate if you're using lettuce as the outside of your wrap or your sandwich. Then we want to add on our healthy fat component. So this is going to be a creamy tahini dressing. Now, some of you might not be familiar with what tahini is. It comes from the Mediterranean region of the world, and it's ground up sesame seeds. It makes like a paste, almost like the texture of peanut butter. It's so delicious and flavorful. If any of you have ever had something called shawarma, which comes from countries like Turkey or any other country around the Mediterranean, North Africa, Israel, Lebanon, they have shredded meat with veggies, and then they often put tahini on top, and it is delicious. It's such a good flavor. So as mentioned, the tahini will add flavor, but also you can boost this up with any herbs and spices you like. Now, this is one of the lowest carb, easy, portable, quick lunches you can make for yourself that is honestly so healthy and balanced in the healthy trifecta. If any of you have never done this, I encourage you to do it right away. Okay, our third healthy lunch option, rooted in the healthy trifecta, is going to be a Mediterranean chickpea bowl. So this is going to be a bowl that's either a grain base, it could be like a brown rice or a quinoa, or it can just be a base of a salad. But then we want to add on lots of chickpeas, which is going to provide us with a plant-based source of protein. And this is also considered a complex carb. You can put these things together. They're slower digesting types of carbs. Beans or chickpeas are some of those unique foods from nature that are actually complex in the way that they are. They have both protein and carbohydrate inside of them. Then we're going to add on top a source of healthy fiber, a vegetable. This could be diced onion, cucumbers, tomatoes, anything that you can think of, really, bell pepper, whatever you like that's going to be crunchy, juicy, and add some good fiber. And then we'll add some healthy fat on top. This could be olives or olive oil. And sometimes people like to make a chickpea paste, which is the hummus. That often is going to have olive oil inside of it or some tahini. Usually very creamy if you add the tahini inside. And then you can always add some more protein. Now, a lot of people enjoy plant-based proteins, or they are vegan or vegetarian. And if that's you, you're good. You have chickpeas in there. There is a source of protein, especially if you use quinoa as your base. That's going to add a little bit of protein boost as well. But for some of you, you enjoy animal-based proteins, and there's nothing wrong with that. So think about something like a grilled fish, sardines, salmon. It could also be chicken breasts. You can just throw that on top, and then adding on some things that really boost up the flavor without adding a lot of sugar, like herbs or spices. Herbs can be dried, they can be fresh. You can make this spicy, like chili spices. You can make it earthy with cumin, coriander, turmeric, anything you really want. Okay, so for our fourth lunch idea, this is going to be a cauliflower fried rice with shrimp. So why cauliflower? Well, cauliflower is a vegetable, and it's very low in carbohydrate and very high in fiber. It is a form of carb, but it's a slow digesting carb, and it has lots of water and fiber inside, so there's not that many calories. It's a nice alternative to rice. Rice is not inherently bad. I just think that it's nice to get variety in our diet, and we need to understand that something like rice is, especially if it's a white rice, it is a quick digesting carbohydrate. And for some people, if they're not eating rice alongside of healthy fiber, healthy fats, and a good source of protein, it will spike their blood sugar. Some people are more sensitive to rice than others. So instead, we're going to use cauliflower rice. Now, I know there are some grocery stores, I believe Costco is one, depending on where you live, you might find frozen bags in your grocery store of cauliflower rice, which are really easy to make. But if not, you can just chop cauliflower into very tiny bits and steam it, and there you go. Then we're going to add on to it some other forms of vegetable. This could be broccoli, kale, bok choy, really any flavor that you like. And then it's also going to include your source of protein, which is here, your shrimp. Now, if some of you are not shrimp eaters, that's fine. Pick your protein of choice. It could be scrambled egg, it could be tofu, it could be another form of meat. For the seasoning here, I like to emphasize some Asian flavors when I can, because I just love the balance of them. Lime, ginger, garlic, maybe tamari sauce, some fish sauce. But try to go for something that's low sodium. If some of you out there have hypertension, it's really important to watch the salt as well. Now, this is going to have our healthy trifecta. It's going to satisfy any cravings. It's going to keep your blood sugar stable and your energy levels stable for many hours. So now we can talk about our fifth lunch idea, and it's going to be an egg and veggie power bowl. And this can look so many ways. Let's start with our base. Roasted vegetables. It could be sweet potato, zucchini, eggplant, bell pepper, mushrooms, you name the variety that you like. So with our veggie base, then on top, we can add some mixed greens for a little boost of fiber, nutrition, and a nice texture dynamic. Then we have our protein, which here is going to be hard-boiled eggs. As well, our healthy fat, which is either an olive oil vinaigrette with any flavor you like. You could also make a Greek yogurt-based dressing, which is a nice alternative to something like ranch. Greek yogurt has a lot more protein. You can add some healthy fat into it by mixing in some olive oil or avocado oil, or even put some diced avocado on top. And ultimately, having this egg and veggie power bowl, which is rooted in the healthy trifecta, just like the other meals, is going to help you stave off cravings, blood sugar spikes and crashes. Your energy will stay steady throughout the afternoon. Now, all of these lunch ideas, really, I find they're super delicious. If you have tried any of these, please comment below and share with us what you like to eat. What's your favorite healthy lunch idea? Share with us in the comments, because when we bounce ideas around in this community, it really just helps the community thrive. And I hear incredible stories from some of you, and I've even learned plenty of new healthy meal ideas just from reading your comments. So keep sharing those below. And then when you're ready, you've probably felt like, okay, if you have a good grip on lunch, now you just need to think about what's the best way to approach dinner? What kinds of dinner ideas could I make for myself and my family? So if you're ready for that, jump into my next video and I'll see you over there.